Hi guys, Alex here. Welcome back to Girl Talk. I've got a little bit of mess and a little bit of drama today for you guys. For today's video, we're going to go ahead and do a Chantopolis world update. Now, this video has been inspired by one of my tweets where I asked you guys, is this the worst that Foodie Beauty has ever been? And many of you guys replied, yes, the way that she is right now is the absolute worst when it comes to her health. People are sounding the alarm. Does she need to return to Canada? She has made it clear over the years that she is not able to help herself on her own. So what's next for Foodie Beauty? She has paraded herself all over YouTube eating massive amounts of junk food and fast food. Everyone expected eventually it would catch up to her. And now, well, it's happening, folks. It's happening. We need to talk about Foodie Beauty. Let's just get right into it. Shall we? Welcome back to our Chantopolis world update. Things have been looking quite grim for Foodie Beauty these last few months. Now that she has been formally re-diagnosed with diabetes, it's not a surprise to anyone, noting her weight and the things that she chooses to eat without a care in the world about moderation or her own physical health. These mukbangs have been almost a middle finger to her audience, but at the end of the day, no one cares. We're not offended by your mukbangs. Continue to be the architect of your own demise. The clock is ticking for Foodie Beauty, and it's never been this bad. Will she make it out the other side, or is this the end of Foodie Beauty? For real this time. Let's begin by discussing her video 4-course keto low-carb meal mukbang. Her fasting blood sugar now sits at 293. For reference, a normal fasting blood sugar is around 70 to 100. She needs medical care right now, but for some reason, the doctor that she did or didn't see said, "See ya in a month." A couple of things here. They're either not taking her seriously because they think she will go home to receive adequate medical care, or she didn't go. This shit just doesn't add up. She begins her video by stating that Kuwait has an obesity issue, so she ordered from a diet center, specifically from their keto menu. But she isn't doing keto, so keto for a day? Well, more like a couple of hours. Let's be real here. She leaves little hints that she is taking this seriously, but I certainly have my doubts. Months ago, she switched her content to focus almost exclusively on mukbangs. How long can she keep up these healthy mukbangs? This keto one looks like she ordered about 3 keto meals and just had them all at once. She's down bad, and who knows what her intake is behind the scenes. She admits to feeling adverse side effects after eating almost any meal, but especially the ones that are high in sodium, which are most of the ones that she eats. And she's also dealing with high blood pressure right now as well. I think that she has to go back to Canada. She should really be getting things ready to transfer her life back to the Western world or Canada, because she can't afford to F around right now. She talks about being referred to an outpatient program back in the day, another thing that she failed to follow up on. The biggest failure for her is her inability to fight for herself. You can get as much medical attention as you want, but they're not going to do the work for you. She even says she does not want medication. I don't understand this at all. She says that metformin made her really sick, and she heard statistics online that certain meds are a failure for diabetic patients. Clearly, you're unable to take care of this by yourself, and there are other options. You don't have to go on metformin. An extremely eye-opening offhand comment that she made was, "I finished all my food, so now I get dessert." Is that what Mama Foodie would tell her back in the day? Is that why she feels the need to finish anything and everything put in front of her? The start of her disordered eating behavior? 100%. She says after the food is done, she is depressed. The next video was called, "Yup, I'm Doing It Again." She begins by showing her blood sugar is down to about 200. So what is this about? What is she doing again? Well, water fasting. She allegedly has been fasting for 24 hours at the start of this video. Yeah, right. Everyone in her family has diabetes, and she is afraid to eat almost anything at this point because, like I said, she feels physically bad after eating anything. She feels ill. If that doesn't tell you just how bad things are, I don't know what will. Chantal lashes out at certain reaction channels because they are hell-bent at discrediting her scale, and that even though she approached the limit of that scale, that doesn't mean it's inaccurate, she says. People were quick to point out that that's a lie. Some scales don't have an error message or display zeros if you go over the limit. They will simply give out an inaccurate reading. I'm not believing any readings coming from her, but that is the only data that we have to go off of for the time being. You've been caught in lie after lie after lie to fit your narrative. People are just looking for the truth, and we know we're not getting it from you. I don't know if fasting is right for her. I have a lot of skepticism. It's way too much of a shock to her system. You don't have to do a complete 180. That never seems to go according to plan. You'll end up beezing and completely wrecking any progress you've made. She's talking sweet as pie during the video, but you can tell that the rage is simmering just beneath the surface as she lashes out against these accusations, and points out many of the people saying these things don't cam up. Cam up, cam up. She says that everything is going to be glowing, her hair, her skin, if she just makes it through a few days. You'll see. Well, we did see, because this didn't last. The next video was roasted chicken and mashed potatoes with gravy mukbang. Her blood sugar is up, and so any progress she has deluded herself into thinking she has made has been reversed. And now she's eating because something happened. She had the worst pain in her stomach and couldn't even sleep, so she had to eat. She had a package of noodles, oranges, and cheese. She claims to have fasted for about 30 hours in the end, but not many people are really buying that. People in the comments state that she needs a doctor's intervention now, or things are going to get even worse. Let's take a look at this comment. Chantal, without a doctor and medical intervention, you are going to fall into a coma and unalive. Please see a doctor ASAP before this happened. I had a friend who was half your weight and did exactly that because she had untreated diabetes. You're too far gone to actually reverse the diabetes at all. Please get help from a doctor in a hospital. I don't want to see you unalive. So Foodie has made it clear that her intentions are to reverse this, to put it into remission, because if you remember in 2021, she had diabetes and then she claimed after doing Ozempic and Cola that she was able to reverse it. But that is 2 years ago now, and she has continued to pack on the pounds and eat the fast food. So things are back to where they were. And who knows how long this has been left untreated. She did have it, like I said, in 2021, but before that, how long was she dealing with this? And now that it's back and it's probably worse than ever, how much damage has she already done to her body? It certainly borders on the unreversible, if not being completely unreversible, the damage that she has done to her internal organs. She tells a story about a recent nightmare. These are the only experiences that she has recently. Dreams, nightmares. The last video that we're going to be discussing regarding Chantal and this diabetes arc is called Diabetic Grocery Haul with Prices. Now, the thumbnail is literally a troll. Girl, it's Reese's peanut butter cups and chocolate galore. Keep trolling because, yeah, we're the ones that are so affected and so offended, girl. She claims to be buying food for her new diet. Now, I'm not a nutritionist, but some people in the comments suggested that she needs one, and Chantal is extremely unhappy with that. Let's go ahead and take a look at that thread. Cool, so you hyper-focus on the diabetes issue and your cholesterol and blood pressure escalate. Girl, you need to see a nutritionist. That's way too much dairy, sodium products, and red meat. You are not doing yourself any favors. To which Chantal replies, it's literally meat and veggies. Are you kidding? How about I eat air? Like I said, the rage is simmering just beneath the surface. What's interesting about this is that she has focused so much and put so much energy on reaction channels and negative comments in her comment section that she has just let herself completely be engulfed by that negative energy, and she hasn't been able to pull herself out of this clear food addiction that is obviously now having some serious consequences in regards to her health. Everything that she does, everything that she says, it just happens to be a middle finger to her audience and F you to the reaction channels. Well, at the end of the day, her situation continues to deteriorate. The only person that she should be mad at is herself at this point. And it truly has become such a critical moment for her that it can go one of two ways. And that one way, I'm not going to spell it out for you, but we know exactly what I'm talking about. She can get better or not. And it really goes to show you the danger of this kind of addiction. We always focus on substances. And I know that that is because it is so immediate, the danger that you put yourself in, depending on what it is that you are ingesting. But with this, it is more of a slow and silent situation. Your body can only take so much. And now that she has hit about 40, I don't know if she has the willpower to overcome this, but that's what it's going to take. No amount of medical care is going to reverse this if she's not putting in the work at home. And she's right. It's not something that she's the only person dealing with this, right? There's so many resources out there, specifically when you do have diabetes. I know she has talked about over the years, the focus has always been, when it comes to these EDs, the focus has always been on thin persons. And she felt like there was no resources for her. Well, now you have an opportunity where there are a lot of resources. I know it can be difficult in Kuwait, but there are a lot of resources waiting for you back at home. I don't know if you guys have seen, but there is rules in Kuwait if you are applying for residency as an expatriate. If you have diabetes, you're not allowed to be an expatriate. You're not allowed to be a resident. So I'm assuming that she is not a resident, as these rules were put in place around 2018, 2019, although I don't have any boots on the ground over in Kuwait, so I don't know what is actually going on or if they actually enforce these rules. It's hard to say because we have seen things regarding Chantal's behavior where this would be something that was prosecuted, but Kuwait doesn't seem to always enforce these type of rules. Just to be clear, I don't agree with people with diabetes not being allowed to be residents of the country. And I also don't agree with their limits on free speech in regards to what you can say on the internet. These are things that we have researched in the past in regards to Kuwait, and they have not enforced those rules on Chantal. So it is possible that she was able to squeak by and she does have residency, but I'm not 100% sure. It does seem as though they do single out people with obesity-related illnesses. So her showing up for that initial physical, maybe they didn't even do one. If you're wondering why they would single out people with diabetes, I'm assuming that it is because they don't want to put a strain on the medical system there in Kuwait, especially when it comes to people that aren't in the country yet. So you can agree with that or not, but that's the reason for this. We can't trust anything that Chantal says. So I'm just going on the little bit of information that we do have. Back to her diet and the food that she bought. Chantal shows Salah's grocery haul and admits that she will need to exercise her willpower, which we know that she doesn't have. I don't think that she'll be able to stay away. He got a crap ton of chocolate and sugary juice. Having this in the house will absolutely destroy her diet 100%. And her thinking that she can just go ahead and avoid it is so naive. It's like an alcoholic living with someone who has bottles, right? If you do struggle with an addiction to alcohol, then you cannot live with someone that has a ton of bottles of alcohol. It just doesn't work. You're going to end up, there's going to be a weak moment in the middle of the night where you grab a chocolate bar or whatever. It's not realistic at all. The only way that I could ever see this working out is if you're years down the line, you have years of experience in recovery and self-control, then maybe it would be okay. But she hasn't even really gotten started. So it's like someone 2 days sober going to live with someone and they have a bunch of bottles. That's exactly what this is like. She has shown off hundreds and hundreds of dollars of groceries. Where did it all go? All right. So, in conclusion, Foodie Beauty is in a world of trouble. It's clear something could happen at any time. Many people know others in similar situations that didn't make it out the other side. I mean, this is a huge issue in the United States and Kuwait as well. I have read an article that talked about how the US bringing fast food to the nation of Kuwait definitely contributed to their obesity problem. Chantal has been happy there because of her access to cheap fast food and just cheap, big portions in general. It doesn't have to be fast food. I don't really know what's going through Chantal's head right now if she realizes the gravity of this situation. I don't want to see anything happen to her, but I do have the fear that something will happen if she doesn't get some sort of medicine. She wants to avoid the doctor. I don't know why. I mean, she's already done that for years. She has avoided going to the doctor. So now is the time to see somebody and get her stuff together. She'll probably have to go back to Canada in order to get the best care that she needs. All right, you guys, that's going to be it for today's video. I feel like I've made my point. Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below, and I will, of course, catch you guys in the next one. All right, bye, guys.